I'm going to show you how to do a simple cable stitch. You can see them right here. I have two. And for this little example, I'm just working with 19 stitches on a reverse stockinette background. And then I have 3 side stitches just to keep the fabric flat so it doesn't curl. Because all reverse stockinette stitch is basically is stockinette stitch, and as we all know, stockinette stitch loves to curl. So anyway, and I do have my little cables, I have them marked with the stitch markers here just so I can keep track of where I am supposed to make them, because it's a little hard to tell, at least it is for me anyway. So I'm just going to knit until I get to the place where I'm going to put my cables. You can just ignore these stitches for the most part. Okay, so now I'm at the point where I want to make my cables, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to knit through the back loop of the second stitch on the needle, and then I'm going to knit into the front stitch of this first stitch here, and then I will drop them off the left needle. So it's easier than it sounds. We're going to knit into the back leg of this stitch here, or the back loop, but don't drop it off the left needle yet, and keep it on there. And then knit into the front of the first stitch, and then drop both off the left needle. And then I'll show you again. Oops. Okay. Let me try to zoom in a little bit here just so you can, whoops, wrong way. Just so you can see what I'm doing. You're going to knit into the back loop of the second stitch on your needle, and then knit into the front of the first stitch. Oops. So knit into the back of that second stitch, keep it on the needle, and then knit into the front of the first stitch. Sorry, trying to stay in frame. Drop them off. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and finish this row really quickly here so we can get to the other side. And oops, I'm supposed to be knitting these. Okay, so when you get to the other side to finish the stitch, all you're going to do is just purl those 2 stitches. Okay, here they are. Here are the 2 that we worked on the other side through the back loop and then the front loop. All you're going to do is just purl them on this side. Just normal purl stitches. Okay, and here are my 2 cable stitches again. Just purl as you normally would. Just finish this really quickly here, and then I will show you one more time. You see how they really stand out if you do on the reverse stockinette. They kind of just jump out at you. So that's why you want to have your cables worked on reverse stockinette so they stand out. If you work them on garter stitch, they won't look quite as nice. But of course you can put your cables on any kind of background that you like. Okay, here we are, my 2 cable stitches. Again, you're going to knit through the back loop of the second stitch and then through the front loop of the first stitch. So here we go. Knit through the back loop, leave the stitch on the needle, and knit the first stitch, and then drop them off the left needle. Knit through the back loop, knit through the front loop of the first stitch, and drop them off the left needle. And that's it. On the other side you would just purl them, and you have your lovely little simple cables.